What's going on, everyone? Dustin Zana with Creating the Difference. I got the brand new Hammer Hazmat here today. We're going to talk about this bowling ball a little bit, take it out in the lanes, see what kind of performance we get out of this ball, and really talk about where it's going to fit in your arsenal, because really that's the most important part of this. There's a lot of bowling balls that come out nowadays, so not every single one might fit in your bag. So we'll talk about where this will fit. So let's talk about the core numbers real quick. 2.479 on the RG and 0.55 on the diff, so pretty high diff in this symmetric bowling ball. And of course it does have HK22 on it. I think we're right about a year with that cover stock technology being out. So it's been pretty popular, pretty successful. So they're putting it on quite a few bowling balls now. We'll see how it matches up with the new Hazmat. And it's got a factory finish of 500, 1000, 1500 Sire, and then Crown Factory compound. So let's take it on the lanes, and we'll see what this brand new Hammer Hazmat can do. All right, gotta give the ball the old get up and go slap. First shot, Hammer Hazmat. Didn't physically throw it good, but strike's a strike at this point. So, I mean, physically it wasn't great. Missed the release a little bit. So, I mean, I have my guesses of what it's going to be. But let's physically throw a good one and, see what this ball does. That's what I thought. I mean, it's pretty angular. The angular type of shape is, the one everybody likes to see. Gets furthest down the lane and then it hooks. Now, is it the most usable? No, it's not. It really goes to show you when you have a ball with angular ball motion that that type of shape is good when the lanes start to break down. If you're bowling on somewhat of a cliff house shot, if you got a bowling ball with a bigger core in it, there's really only a couple situations where I need an angular ball. Continuous balls, on the other hand, that's a different story. Use continuous balls a lot. So let's see what we got here. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I felt like I threw that one pretty good. So, I mean, for me, this type of shape or, this ball, it would fit in the bag, don't get me wrong. And it might fit in that, for me, at least in that 3 or 4 ball spot when the lanes start to transition and, the lanes open up. I would not, for me, put this ball above that. I wouldn't put it in a spot where like an MV Tour would go or a Mindset. It would never go in those spots. It would always go lower in the bag when I need to open up the lane. So I'm gonna move further left and we'll just keep cheating it, see what it looks like.
Green Giant.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't throw pins a lot like that. I mean, I do more than a lot of people, but I'm not throwing pins like EJ does. I'm not throwing pins like Belmo does. So when it happens, you just gotta take advantage of it. Gotta let them know. That's in. I mean, it still looks pretty good. So yeah, I mean, I still would back up what I said earlier about the bowling ball being, in that 3 or 4 ball spot, in a 6 ball arsenal. Having a traction and a continuous ball above it, and then having the angular Hazmat right below that. So I got Jacob here with me. He's helping me film this video. Jacob, what are your first impressions on the Hazmat?
So first impressions.
Get the 5 out.
First impressions that this is very much a hammer ball. Like, we all know what hammer's known for. They're known for a lot of big hooking balls. They're more known for their continuous balls more than anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely think this ball is something a little different for them. They don't have a lot of angular, symmetrical pieces in their line.
Right.
So this is a new territory for them. But, I mean, overall, I mean, this ball looks pretty good so far.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. Like, and it has its place, right? Like, you can have a ball like an MV Tour, and it has, in my opinion, it has a wide range of uses. Like, I could put surface on that ball, or I might have it with a little bit of polish, and it's still strong enough to where I can get the performance. So, you know, like this ball, the Hazmat, it's going to be, you know, it has its place, right? So, you know, it's in that angular category. Of course, you can blend it out with surface, make that angular ball motion more continuous. But honestly, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe at the end of the video, we'll put some surface on this ball and see how it looks. But it's definitely, right now, it's angular. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, putting surface on it would almost kind of make me a little worried because I feel like this is it's definitely not the strongest core they've ever made, but it is a strong core.
Yeah.
Surface, I would almost be worried that it's either going to burn up really quick or it's just never going to hook.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, for me, I mean, I can make the ball hook, but I completely understand what you're saying. So
it's just a really weak cover for such a really strong core.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I grabbed that one. That's all right. Yeah, so I mean, I'll grab a pad here in a couple minutes, and we'll take that for a test drive to see how it works. But yeah, like I'm not sure if, you know, the cover itself, especially since this ball is HK22, you know, if the ball with surface is going to give me the shape that I want. And I say that as, you know, the ball gets further down the lane, you know, the HK22 is supposed to make it be more angular, like a shiny ball is supposed to be. But my worry is if I put surface on it, it sees it earlier, but then it goes like an angular ball, which I don't want. I mean, I could be completely wrong. That's just how it looks in my head. And like all of us, we've been wrong before, so we'll try it and see.
Oh! Wiggle, wiggle.
That was dirty.
Another thing to kind of take into consideration here is, yes, it's HK22, but Brunswick has 7 or 8 different versions of HK22.
Yeah. So I mean,
so it's still it's an unknown factor of what each cover will do under surface or being shiny.
Right. So I mean, that was pretty nasty 9-pin. I'm all the way against the ball return now, so let's see where we're at. Oh, that's money.
I mean, as long as you throw it good, it runs over that 8-pin like it's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it looks really, really good. You know, on the good shots. On the bad shots, so what I'll do here is I'll stand in the same part of the lane, but I will open up the launch angle a little bit more. And what I want you to watch for is when the ball hooks, it hooks way too late down lane and it doesn't recover. So if I do what I want to do here, it will probably be close to a light mixer, if not a flat 10. We'll see though. mean, that's not fair. That's not fair at all, because that was way right. You got to at least give it a chance. So launching was way too open.
Hey, just an area check.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll try that again. That's pretty close. So, I mean, that was maybe 2 right down lane. It hooked and it went forward. So, you know, the condition is fresh. That has something to do with it. But, you know, that kind of goes along the lines of what I said earlier. Like this ball, if I was to put it in my bag, which it might, actually, it would be in that 3 or 4 ball spot, because it's not defined enough down lane for me to say, okay, this ball is going to be money on the fresh. Now, with bowling specifically, let me throw this shot before I keep rambling. With bowling specifically, like, you want to set yourself up to have the biggest amount of room for error. You might be like, well, you know, it seems like every league night I'm throwing it great. You know, I feel like I got the right ball in my hand, but I'm just not striking. You know, if you feel like you're in that situation and, you know, you're not, you know, okay, you average 220 and you're shooting 640 every night at league. You know, thinking you were in the right ball, but you're actually not, could take that 640 into 740. Because if you have to hit this down lane, you probably got the wrong ball in your hand. So it just goes along the lines of just understanding, you know, where balls fit and where they don't. I mean, that was maybe 1 or 2 right down lane, and I barely got the 5 out. It's just not defined enough. The shape overall is great. It has its purpose. I would be willing to bet if I threw 3 games on this lane, this ball would be disgusting. It would be so good. Hook. Oh. All right. Whatever. But Jacob, do you see what I'm talking about in the fact that you kind of have to be perfect with a shape like this on the fresh?
Yeah, it's just, it comes down to the fact that there's not a lot of friction to play with where there would be after, you know, let's say you're bowling a tournament and it's 6 games.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get into games 3, 4, 5, and 6, this is where that ball would shine.
Yes.
It's just, this ball retains too much energy, but it doesn't use it in the right way on the fresh.
Yeah. And by no means am I saying this ball is bad. That's actually the complete opposite of what I'm saying. But yeah, like it has its purpose, and its purpose is right in that transition area when the lane starts to break down. So, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a sanding pad, we'll put some surface on it, and then we'll see what it looks like. All right. Surface, 3000 grit. We'll see what the shape difference is here. I'll stay in the same part of the lane that I was. So okay. Let me explain. No, I mean, it actually, that was dead money. Like, that was really, really good. But it actually did exactly what Jacob said it would do. It would burn. Like that ball burned.
It pretty much just, in that same spot where it would hook, it just stood up and went forward.
Yes. Yes. So I'll throw it there again. Let's just try it again. Maybe that was just a fluke. That's way right.
See, but now if you threw it there before the surface,
that misses the head pin.
100%.
But you could see, like, it picked up early enough to where, you know, it actually got there. But if you really watch the ball, you can see, instead of going this way, the ball is rolling forward. So it sees the friction, but it doesn't continue. It just goes forward. That's what I would call a bad ball reaction. Yeah, maybe I'm too steep. Maybe I'm too steep through the front part of the lane. So we'll parallel everything 5 and 5 to the right. We'll see what it looks like. Like the shape still like isn't terrible, but like based off of that last shot, based off of the first two, I'd be out of that ball immediately. But you know, we'll make our move. We'll go. Actually, I'm going to go 5 and 3 back to the right and see what it does. That's pretty close. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, honestly, it's not bad. It's kind of along the lines of just having to square it back up. I just think I was too steep through the front part of the lane to really not give it justice, honestly. So yeah, I mean, it's not bad on the surface. Not bad at all. So I'm going to move another 5 and 2 back to the right. It's pretty close. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of figuring it out. That's all. So we'll go ahead and do one more shot with the brand new Hazmat. Of course, wiping it off every single time with a CCD band pad. Textured microfiber on one side, leather on the other. And I'm actually going to split the difference between those last two. Bingo. That's pretty good. I might put some more polish on this ball and add it to the bag. So if you're interested in getting a Hammer Hazmat, you can check it out on ccdbowling.com. I am Dustin Zaner with Creating the Difference. Have a great day.